The world watched as Kim Jong-un, the enigmatic leader of North Korea, stepped off his armoured train in Moscow. His destination, a highly anticipated meeting with Vladimir Putin, the president of Russia. This meeting, shrouded in secrecy and rife with speculation, signalled a significant shift in the global political landscape. Kim Jong-un's visit to Russia marked his first trip outside North Korea since the beginning of the COVID-19 pandemic. The timing of this visit, amidst Russia's ongoing war in Ukraine and escalating tensions with the West, was no coincidence. It highlighted a growing alignment between Moscow and Pyongyang, two nations facing increasing pressure from the United States and its allies. Their discussions, though largely kept under wraps, were believed to centre around military cooperation, economic ties, and a shared vision for a multipolar world order. The implications of this burgeoning partnership, particularly for the United States and its allies, are far-reaching and demand close scrutiny. Table of Contents, Part 2, Act 1, about 3 sections. First, the Hermit Kingdom's calculus, survival and leverage. Second, the shadow of the agreed framework, a legacy of distrust. Third, the price of support, arms, grain, and recognition. Kim Jong-un's decision to align himself more closely with Vladimir Putin is a calculated move rooted in North Korea's perennial quest for survival and leverage. Sanctioned and isolated, North Korea views Russia as a crucial lifeline, a potential source of economic aid, military hardware, and diplomatic cover on the world stage. This alliance allows Kim to defy the international community, particularly the United States, and project an image of strength despite his country's vulnerabilities. By strengthening ties with another powerful autocrat like Putin, Kim hopes to insulate himself from geopolitical shifts and ensure the continuation of his family's dynastic rule. By aligning with Russia, a permanent member of the United Nations Security Council, Kim gains a powerful voice in opposing sanctions and challenging the existing world order. This partnership provides North Korea with increased bargaining power in any future negotiations with the United States and its allies. Kim Jong-un is playing a high-stakes game of geopolitical chess, recognizing the shifting global power dynamics. His support for Putin is a calculated gamble, designed to secure his regime's survival and enhance its international standing. While the current geopolitical climate provides a compelling explanation for Kim's actions, it's crucial to understand the historical context that informs North Korea's deep-seated distrust of the West. The 1994 Agreed Framework, a landmark agreement between the United States and North Korea aimed at denuclearizing the Korean peninsula, casts a long shadow over current relations. The Agreed Framework, while initially promising, ultimately unraveled due to a lack of trust and accusations of broken promises on both sides. North Korea, suspicious of American intentions, resisted full transparency regarding its nuclear program. The United States, in turn, was accused of failing to deliver on its commitments to provide energy assistance and normalize diplomatic relations. This breakdown of trust fueled North Korea's determination to pursue nuclear weapons as the ultimate guarantor of its security. Understanding this historical context is crucial to comprehending the complexities of the current situation and formulating effective strategies for engagement with North Korea. Kim Jong-un's support for Russia, however, comes at a price. Moscow expects a quid pro quo for its backing, one that aligns with its strategic objectives in the region and beyond. North Korea, grappling with economic sanctions and food shortages, is expected to provide material support in the form of artillery shells and other military equipment crucial for Russia's ongoing war efforts in Ukraine. Beyond weapons, Russia seeks to exploit North Korea's strategic location as a gateway to the Pacific. Strengthening their military cooperation allows Moscow to project power in the region and counterbalance the growing influence of the United States and its allies. Joint military exercises, intelligence sharing, and potentially even the establishment of Russian military bases on North Korean soil could become bargaining chips in this high-stakes game. Kim Jong-un's decision to back Putin is not a gesture of altruism. The price of this support could be steep, further entrenching North Korea in a cycle of militarization and isolation. Vladimir Putin's decision to court Kim Jong-un is a calculated gamble, a testament to his growing desperation. Facing mounting casualties and crippling sanctions, Putin finds himself increasingly isolated. His outreach to North Korea highlights the extent of his predicament. Russia's military faces a critical shortage of artillery shells and munitions. North Korea, with its vast stockpiles of Soviet-era weaponry, presents a tempting solution. Putin sees in Kim Jong-un a kindred spirit, sharing disdain for the West. However, this gamble further alienates Russia from the international community. Putin's outreach to North Korea is driven by the demand for arms on the Ukrainian front. North Korea's stockpiles of Soviet-era munitions offer a lifeline for Russia's war machine. Putin's dependence on unreliable partners like Kim Jong-un is likely to grow. Putin's calculations vis-à-vis North Korea extend beyond the immediate needs of the battlefield. He sees in this alliance an opportunity to enhance Russia's strategic depth in the Far East and bolster his diplomatic standing in the face of Western pressure. North Korea, with its strategic location bordering Russia, China, and South Korea, offers a potential platform for Russia to project power in the region and counterbalance the growing influence of the United States and its allies. Strengthening military cooperation with North Korea, including joint exercises, intelligence sharing, and potentially even the establishment of Russian military bases on North Korean soil, would be a direct challenge to the US-led security architecture in Northeast Asia. Putin sees in Kim Jong-un a valuable partner in his quest to undermine the US-led world order and promote his vision of a multipolar world. This partnership, while unlikely to result in a formal alliance, nonetheless serves as a propaganda victory for both nations. Putin's embrace of Kim Jong-un marks a significant shift in the geopolitical landscape, one with potentially far-reaching consequences for the region and the world. The blossoming partnership between Russia and North Korea has been met with a chorus of condemnation from the international community. The United Nations, already grappling with the ongoing crisis in Ukraine, has denounced the alliance as a threat to global peace and security. The UN Security Council, despite deep divisions among its permanent members, has issued statements condemning North Korea's arms transfers to Russia and calling for an immediate cessation of hostilities in Ukraine. The United States, leading the charge against both Russia and North Korea, has imposed a fresh round of sanctions targeting individuals and entities involved in facilitating the arms trade between the two countries. The European Union, echoing Washington's concerns, has also tightened its own sanctions regime, seeking to further isolate both Moscow and Pyongyang from the global financial system. Beyond official condemnations and sanctions, the alliance has also drawn sharp criticism from human rights groups and international organizations. The global response to the Russia-North Korea alliance reflects a growing unease over the shifting geopolitical landscape. The Biden administration finds itself walking a tightrope as it grapples with the complex challenge posed by the Russia-North Korea alliance. On the one hand, the United States is committed to supporting Ukraine and holding Russia accountable for its aggression. On the other hand, Washington is acutely aware of the risks of escalation and the need to prevent a wider conflict, particularly one involving nuclear weapons. Washington's response to the alliance has thus far focused on a combination of sanctions and deterrence. The United States has imposed a series of targeted sanctions aimed at crippling the financial networks that facilitate the arms trade between Russia and North Korea. In addition to sanctions, the United States has also stepped up its military presence in the region, deploying additional warships, aircraft, and troops to South Korea and Japan. These deployments are intended to reassure allies of America's commitment to their security and to deter further aggression from both North Korea and Russia. Balancing the need to deter aggression with the imperative of avoiding escalation will require a deft touch and strategic patience. China, caught between a troubled neighbour and a strategic partner, navigates the fallout from the Russia-North Korea alliance. Beijing seeks stability on the Korean peninsula, fearing conflict could disrupt its economic interests. China values its strategic partnership with Russia, counterbalancing the United States. China's response mixes public reticence and private diplomacy. Beijing refrains from condemning Russia's actions. Instead, it calls for peaceful resolution and restraint. China expresses concerns about the destabilizing potential of the alliance. Beijing is wary of North Korea's nuclear ambitions, fearing it could embolden other countries. China's balancing act reflects its complex interests. It seeks stability and avoids alienating Russia. How China navigates this will impact Northeast Asia. The evolving alliance between Russia and North Korea serves as a stark reminder of the shifting sands of global power. As the world grapples with the ongoing conflict in Ukraine, the spectre of a new Cold War looms large. This partnership, fueled by mutual self-interest and antipathy towards the West, has injected a dangerous new element into the geopolitical landscape. The consequences extend far beyond Ukraine and the Korean peninsula. The increased flow of weapons from North Korea to Russia sets a dangerous precedent for rogue states. The world now faces a more assertive and heavily armed North Korea. This alliance underscores the limitations of the existing global security architecture. The United Nations has proven largely ineffective in addressing the crisis. The United States faces difficult choices to deter further aggression without triggering a wider conflict. The world is at a crossroads, facing a choice between cooperation and conflict. The stakes are high, and the consequences of inaction are profound. The evolving dynamics between Russia, North Korea, and the West offer a glimpse into the future of the world order, one increasingly characterized by multipolarity. The unipolar moment is fading, and a more fragmented world is emerging, where power is more diffuse and traditional alliances are being tested. This shift presents both opportunities and challenges. A multipolar world promises a more equitable distribution of power, potentially leading to a more inclusive international system. However, it also carries the risk of greater instability and conflict. Navigating this landscape requires strategic patience and new approaches to global governance. The international community must foster cooperation and strengthen peace mechanisms.